Hey everybody, Bushmaster Tekvest here. I'm here to talk about my setup on my Bushmaster and how I like to run it. Everybody's a little different, but this is how I like to run it. So up on the front, what I always run is I run all my tools loose up in the front pouches. So I do this for all of my like bark buster adjusters, my levers, my shock adjustment, my screwdriver, everything, all the little fast tools that you want to do race side without having to completely stop and take all your gear off. I run everything up front. My little Allen keys, and then all my, my 8, my 10, 13, they're all loose in here so that I can just pull off without having to take any gear off. I can pull them out and I can adjust my bars for when you clock a tree and everything comes out of whack. I'm probably not the only person who does that. So what I also like to run in here, I don't have any in here because I think I ate them, but I like to run my Cliff bars, snacks, things like that for race side. Again, anything that you can do to not have to stop and pull gear off, I like to run up front. Right now, I'm set up with my stapler because I was out arrowing with the cord, so I still got that all in there. But yeah, so that's how I like to run my front. I'll also, if I'm racing, I won't necessarily put my phone up front, but if I'm out riding, a lot of time I'll throw my phone up front so I have quick access to it. If I'm racing, I normally throw it in the back. Yeah, so that's kind of how I like to set up my front. Again, the front pockets are mesh, so they flow a lot of air, but that also means that your stuff's going to get wet, it's going to get dirty, so it's kind of up to you if you wanted, if you care enough about your tools. I don't care if they get wet and dirty, I'll clean them later. So I run everything loose so I can get to it quickly when I need it and not have to really care about when I'm throwing it back in there. All the tools run on the outside of the armor, so that's important. So when you do take a hit, it's still on the outside of the armor and it'll help kind of displace that. I like to run the sewn-in arm pads. I'm a big fan of the arm pads. I don't ever ride without them. This vest, you can see I got lots of hits and scratches. We're in tight woods here, so you're never more than a couple inches from a tree, and I tend to hit them, so I like to run the arm pads. I like to run the Enduro pack. We also have the trail pack, so if I'm doing a cross country or something, I'll sometimes substitute it out. Normally I'm too lazy, so I just run the Enduro pack and just dump out the stuff I don't want. In the back here, I carry the rest of my toolkit. So all my big wrenches, my spark plug wrenches, axle, everything else. I don't have any spoons in here because I switched to moose. But I used to run my pump, my spoons, my tire patch kits, all my tube sausages when I was running tubeless. All that stuff I'd all run into the back because if you're doing that kind of work, you're taking everything off anyways. JB Weld plugs, all your normal little stuff I like to run in here. The way I like to rig it up is I like to zip tie everything. So all of my tools, I have them zip tied in place so that you can pull them out and they're all there. So this is how I run my stuff. Everybody's setup is different. So this is just how I do it. So the way, and it's nice because I know where everything is. And I stage everything before the race, so I know where all my tools are. I know how to find them. I know how to get to them. When I'm in the race, if I pull a tool, I'm just throwing it back in there. I'm not taking the time to reset it. But at least when you start, you know everything is good to go. I run a 3-liter bladder. I got a climb bladder in here, which I really like. Big fan of it. Works really well. You got your bladder clip too, so when you want to refill it, you can just unclip it, pull your bladder out, refill. And then you just come back and clip it back in. So that once it collapses down, it doesn't fully collapse. And then we've got this little waterproof pouch in here. In here I keep anything I don't want to get wet. So my insurance, my licenses, I keep my master link in there so I don't lose it. And anything else that I don't want to get dirty or wet, that's where I tend to put it in there. So if I'm on a race, this is also normally where I'll put my phone. Put my phone in there as well. And yeah, that's my setup.